ladies. Hello, hello. How do I follow that? I got to keep up with that. I want to say hello to everyone, and what you see is what you get with me. I'm letting you know now. I am freaking out that I get to follow Deepak Chopra. Whose life is that? And you mentioned that I did a game show for the Oprah Winfrey Network, so I've got Oprah and Chopra. I'm pitching a new TV show, Oprah, Chopra, and Kim. I need all of you to co-sign on that. Hello. So I'm enjoying that. And wasn't he wonderful? It was just like, oh, thank you. And I love that he was mirroring a lot of things that I'm going to talk about today in my own very special way. So I always like to start by, because I know someone in the room wants me to use the catchphrase that I had on my show, Living Single. Listen, and there's great catchphrases throughout the ages. There's, up your nose with a rubber hose. Remember? Welcome back, Kotter. And, Fonzie had A, and JJ had dynamite. And what you talking about, Willis? Right, remember those? I have woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. And if you've never seen the show, and by the way, it still airs reruns, and I get those residual checks, so I appreciate you watching. I do. And the residual checks have slowed down over the years, so come on, people, get with it. But woo, woo, woo is something that my character used to say that meant I love you, I see you, I acknowledge you, I got your back. I'm on your team, I'm your greatest cheerleader. And it's something that I add to the show. No one wrote that for me. It's something that actually my mother used to say to us as kids when words would fail her. Woo, 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 I'm sorry you hurt yourself. Woo, 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 come on in the house and get something to eat. And so to this day, people still say woo, woo, woo to me. So I go down in the annals of and up your nose, woo, woo, woo. And that's who I am at my spirit, at my core. I want to talk about gifts today. The gifts that we all share. Each and every one of you has an amazing gift inside of you. How many of you already know that already? You know that you have a gift. You have something up in there. And each and every one of us has a different gift. And what if I told you that the thing that you have is exactly what the world needs right now, that what you have is amazing and we all need you to do that thing. And Deepak Chopra was talking about purpose and passion. What if I told you that if you do that one special thing, the world really is a better place. And he's talking about breathing in quadrillion airs of decimals of the people and the thing. I'm like, it's the same thing. It really is. Live your passion. I didn't even know I was a scientist. I'm breathing your air and loving your gift. And we all have them. And I have really, through the power of self-discovery and a whole lot of therapy, I told you I was going to keep it real. I discovered that my gift, which I really think about now, I knew all along, my gift is love and laughter. That is my default position, that wherever I go, that's my set point. Wherever I go, whatever I'm doing, I'm always going to be doing it from a place of love and laughter. And laughter for me is what connects everything for me and connects me to you and connects me to you and to everyone else. And so that's been infused in my whole life, and I infused it into getting into show business. I'm fortunate enough to have had a chance to use my gifts to get me into television. But what happens when the television shows have stopped? What happens when your series that has been on for 5 long years, and can I tell you, by that 5th year, you're making so much money and you're eating so much free food. You don't never want it to stop. It's a good life. But when it stops, and Living Single was the sparkling jewel of my career, that's what I call it. And after that, I worked some, and I worked here and there, but never quite as much as I was going to a set every single day. And I did an episode or 2 of Frasier, ding, ding, and I did some other shows, but I just didn't have that same, that same longevity, or I should say the same longevity of a show. And so I did that thing Deepak was talking about for pleasure. I shopped. I was like, oh my God, he's talking to me. I shopped a lot, and I shopped away a whole lot of my money. And I shopped myself all the way to having to downsize everything. What goes away is the 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom condo in the middle of West Hollywood near Sunset Boulevard, $800,000 gone. What goes is the SL 500. That's the Mercedes-Benz. You just press the button and the top just comes off. Son, Can I tell y'all something? I had a personalized license plate, but I had tinted windows, which means I want you to know that it's me, but I don't want you to see me. Anytime you see somebody with a personalized license plate and tinted windows, that's what they're doing. My license plate said, Kimmy Cat. I'm allergic to cats. But I thought it was sleek and but I had this life and I had to downsize. And I felt that I was downsizing myself. And I don't know if there's anybody else in the room who can testify that you understand that feeling where you've had to downsize your things. And you thought that it also meant that you were downsizing yourself and your worth. And I'm here to tell you that you're never downsizing. You're never downsizing you. You are worth immeasurable zillion, trillion, gazillions, like Deepak was talking about. How many zeros was he talking about to the 32nd power? Whatever that is, it's immeasurable. You are worth so much more, and you are worth so much more because you have some amazing gift. I went through this therapy, I went through this life, I went through these challenges, and I decided, wow, I can use my gift whether or not I'm on a TV show. I'm just going to go and talk to the people. And that's what I've been doing lately. Now the TV is still there, the Holly Weird is still there, Holly Weird, and I know you know what I mean. But this is my passion and my soul, and it makes me happy. And because I think I'm clever, I made GIFT an acronym for gratitude, intention, forgiveness, triumphs, and self-love. What? I just did the Running Man on stage. Deepak would never do the Running Man. But Deepak, Chopra, and Oprah. Come on, Kim. Chopra, Oprah, and Kim. Okay, so gratitude, intention, forgiveness, triumphs, and self-love. I believe are all the principles that you need to unlock the gifts that are inside of you. And let's talk about them right now. So the first piece for me is always gratitude. Gratitude unlocks everything else in your life. When you can be grateful for what you already have instead of paying attention to what you don't have, something magical happens. It really is about paying attention to what's here, what's already there, and there is already so much there. There's already always enough that is there for you, and you focus on that. And the magic that happens is the universe or source or God or however you language it says, wait a minute, she likes all that stuff I've already sent her. I'm about to send her some more stuff. I'm about to send her some more resources to help her business grow. I'm going to send her some assistants and some interns that will help her out. I'm going to send her a hunky man that will, whatever it is that hunky men do. It's been so long for me, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying? After I shopped myself into oblivion and, shot myself down to, the house is going away. And also the thing of the shame and hiding, like I don't want anyone to know. And the bill collector's calling my house. And there's nothing worse than the bill collector calling your house and knowing exactly who you are. There's nothing worse. Like Kim calls the girl from TV. Yeah, you didn't pay your bill. Oh God, no. I was told to keep a gratitude journal. Someone said, I know you're depressed, I know you don't feel good right now, but keep a gratitude journal. Do it for 30 days. And when you're depressed, you have nothing to be grateful for. And I was cheating. I have to come up with 5 things every day. I was like, I'm grateful for the 5 fingers on my left hand. I'm grateful for the 5 fingers on my right hand. I'm grateful there. And this went on for weeks. I'm grateful for my toenails. There, I'm grateful. The end of the second week, I was like, I can't cheat anymore. I got to really get grateful about something. And the magic began to happen. I began looking for things to be grateful for. Maybe it was a fluffy white cloud. That day, that's all I could muster up. Maybe it was that I still had a roof over my head. Maybe it's that I was still able to afford to buy some hair. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is for me, it might be something different for you, but you get grateful for what you already have. And I'm going to tell you, I kept going. And on the 32nd day, I received a residual check that paid my mortgage for 5 months. What? Yay! Now, maybe it was already on its way. We could have that argument. Maybe it was coming anyway. I don't know. All I know is this time I was so grateful. And I was so in a space of receiving and understanding that I didn't shop it away this time. This time I really did pay my mortgage and pay those bills. And I was saying to the universe or God or source or however I language it, like, thank you, I'm ready to receive more. And it was really the beginning of me opening up everything for myself. So I was grateful before. I was happy I had a job. I was happy I had a hunky man, if I happen to have one, or whatever it is I had. But this way I'm now in a space of constant receiving. Oh, positive expectancy. That's what I call gratitude. Somebody's writing that down. That means that's good stuff. Positive expectancy. And you can do that right where you are. And it's not about the house that you have, or the fancy car that you're driving, or the hunky man that you do or don't have, or what kind of clothes you're wearing, what diamonds you're wearing today. I'm more happy in my little fake jewelry than I ever was with the diamonds that I had to pawn in order to pay the bills. Do you feel what I'm saying? Yes. I'm going, does anybody else have this experience? Testify if you understand what I'm talking about. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So that's the gratitude piece. The next piece is intention. And intention for me is all about, I call it a spiritual to-do list. Because don't we all have the to-do list? I got to go take the dog to the vet. I got to go pick up the kids. Oh, I need some more ... from the grocery store. We all have that list of things that we do, but do we have a spiritual to-do list? A to-do list that is all about the energy behind things. I have this one sheet on each of the tables, and I've uploaded this to my Facebook page, which I will happily tell you where to go when this is all over. But intention is setting your intention and asking what you really want. Like really getting grounded in what you want. And for me, intention is the energy behind everything. It's that first place you start, like, what do I really want? And so I was driving a really beat up Jeep. And it was beat up because it was nice. Back in 1996 when I bought it, it was lovely. But in 2013, it was crickety and rickety and causing me all kinds of issues. And I was cursing that car every time. I went from, it's me, to, and I was putting a lot of money into getting this car repaired all the time, and a lot of energy into, are you gonna start today? Right, you're gonna drive me all the way to the valley today, finally? And it would stop on me all the time. I was like, I'm putting a whole lot of negative intention into this raggedy beat up car. What if I just set my intention on getting a new car? I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't have a job right now. There's no car dealership in the world that would let me walk in and go, hi, my name is Kim Coles. Yeah, woo, woo, woo. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new car, and I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna make the monthly payments, but I kind of do okay sometimes. No, thank you, bye-bye. It's not gonna happen. But someone told me, just take your energy off and your intention off that raggedy car that's not working for you. Just focus on, what would you drive if you had something new? Like, I don't know, something snazzy, something comfortable, something reliable, I don't know. Around this time, I get called to do a gig in Detroit. Detroit? I don't know, what's the nickname for Detroit? Motor City, hello. Oh, I'm good. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kim Coles. By the way, does anybody work for a car? Could somebody hook a sister up with a car? GM, Lincoln Continental, Cadillac, I don't care, hook a sister up. By the end of my speech, an executive came up and said, hi, here you go, I've got the employee discount. Humana. I got the employee discount just by asking, by putting the intention, not on that raggedy Jeep, but on a brand new car that I might be able to get somewhere. I held on to that because I still didn't have the money ready. Turns out that a relative of mine passed away. A relative that I had no idea had been saving money for years. She lived in a modest home and had a modest life and, lived life modestly, but had enough money to leave all of her nieces and nephews enough money for one of them to purchase a brand new car. And when I walked into GM and I said, I want that shiny Malibu. Yes, I'd like the rebate. And oh, by the way, I've got the employee discount. The salesman's ears just smoke coming out because I got the car for practically nothing. And because of my relative's, gift to me, I was able to get this brand new car. I didn't even know. Now, again, maybe it was on its way, but I think because I turned my intention and attention away from what wasn't working to what was possible, I opened up the space. I invite you to open up the space of possibility of what could happen in your life. All about intention. Let me add to this too. I have an auntie, a favorite auntie of mine, who used to tell me this story when I was growing up. And because we would visit for family reunions once a year, maybe the story started when I was about 6, and every year she would add to the story. She told me that I reminded her of a beautiful Native American Indian princess named Princess Pita. And she told me the story of Princess Peeta, that she was smart and strong and powerful, and she could run as fast as the boys, and she could ride the horses and shoot the arrows, and she was a warrior princess. Now, she was the daughter of the chief, and it was understood that only the men could ever become the chief of the tribe. So how was she was never gonna be the chief. Now, this is at the same time I'm reading stories of Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and, girls that waited around for some man to come and save them. And here I was getting this other story of this beautiful Indian warrior princess with long braids of hair, which I didn't have, but she made me feel as if I was beautiful, like warrior Indian princess, whoosh, 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 on the plains. And it came to pass that her father was getting ill, and he passed away. It was getting ready to pass away, and all the tribe came and said, "You will have to pass the test, warrior Princess Peeta." And she did. She ran as fast as the boy. She shot the arrow. She rode the horse, and they let her take over the tribe. And then she was, as women do, we made peace with all the other tribes. And she made peace, and the corn was brought from this tribe, and this one brought the bison and the buffalo. And I would listen at my auntie's feet every year, what she would add to the story. And then there came a year where I was just too old for the fairy tales anymore. Probably around the time that I was looking at boys. See, there's a through line here. And years later, I called my auntie and I said, "Aunt Inez, you remember how you used to tell me the story of Princess Peeta? And I want you to know how that affected me so much. It made me feel as if I was powerful and I could have anything that the boys have." And she started to laugh. She started to laugh a little bit too hard. I was like, okay, that was cute, and she said, "Kimmy, I have something to tell you. Princess Peeta never really existed." And I was like, okay, I get it. It's a fairy tale. Neither did Cinderella. She said, "No, Princess Peeta stood for pain in the ass." And she said, when you were a kid, you were like so talkative, and you asked so many questions, and you were so precocious, and you were always underfoot, and I was like, she's a pain in my ass. But I told you this story to get you out, and I would go and draw pictures. She would tell me the story, and I would grow off and draw pictures of Princess Peeta. Princess Peeta. And here's the thing about intention. I had a moment there where I could have turned this into a really, really negative story, like my aunt never loved me. But her intention to me was to love me in her way. Her intention was beautiful, that I grew up to believe that I was as strong and as powerful as any man. The intention behind it was actually really cool. When I told my mother, she told me she was so mad. I was like, "You knew too?" My mother knew too. But how many of us, by the way, have a story in our life, a story of something that happened to us, a story that, that's maybe a good story or not so good story, that now we make that ours, so we spin that story. I could be Princess Peeta, and it could be the pain of this particular aunt for the rest of my life, or I could bless it and say that it's wonderful. And by the way, the relative that passed away that left me the money for the car was that Aunt Inez. So I named the car Peeta. Okay, good. Oh, God, okay. How fitting that I now get to forgiveness. Forgiveness, we don't even have enough time for it. You know that forgiveness opens up your heart for so much more. Forgiveness is all about clearing away the decks of those old stories and letting it all go. Leave open space. Because I live in LA, LA is full of, well, I think San Diego is kind of like this. You guys are a little woo-woo. You have healers. And I went to see this healer in the valley somewhere. "You have an angry ankle." Oh, what? This all-purpose accent that I know she was putting on. "You have an angry ankle," she told me. "What happened to your ankle is very angry." I was like, how does she know? I was like, is it because I'm limping right now? "No, I have an angry ankle," she said. And said, "Tell me what happened to your ankle." And I was like, how does she know? I'll tell you guys what happened. When I was 23, my ex-husband, during a discussion, choked me. And choked me so hard that I must have lost consciousness, and I buckled, and I sat on this leg and sat on this ankle and tore ligaments in my ankle. He then carried me to the hospital because I couldn't walk, and we put a cast on my leg that went up to my knee. And then 2 weeks later, I married him. He carried me up the steps to the Justice of the Peace, to the City Hall, because I couldn't manage my crutches up the step. Can I tell you to this day, I have forgiven that ex-husband, and I have forgiven my ass for marrying him. I knew. I had 2 weeks to get out. I wouldn't have been able to run very fast because I had this cast on my leg. But the pain is still in my ankle. I love that Deepak was talking about what we take in our system, stays in our body. This woman, you have an angry ankle, knew that my ankle was angry. And maybe there's somebody in this room, maybe there's somebody who has an angry ankle, or an angry leg, or an angry arm, or an angry heart. Yeah. Thank you. Who said yeah? Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you, mama. It's in there. Forgive and let go. Forgive for yourself and forgive for the other person. Let it go. And it will create room in your heart for so much more. I got a whole routine about it now, It's still there's a little lingering. We have stuff in our closet. You know how you have stuff in your closet? They say clean out your closet. Don't you have something in your closet that's old, that kind of doesn't fit right, but you hold on to it and you push it to the back. And then a year later you go, that's still hanging there? I'm going to hold on to it a little bit longer. And then one day you go, this has got to go out. Think of whatever it is that you got holding on to that you need to get rid of it now. Creates more room for more stuff. You know what I'm talking about, mama? Hallelujah. All right, good. The next piece of GIFTS is T for triumphs. And here's the thing about triumphs is what is working in your life? What is right? We can criticize, this is not working. What is going right in your life? I bet if you search right now, there's a whole lot that's going just fine. We spend a lot of time tooting other people's horns. Who here is really good at tooting other people's horns? Aren't you awesome? Aren't you pretty? Aren't you amazing? We can do that for others. Do you do it for yourself? Do you celebrate yourself? Do you celebrate and then move on? Do you maybe get a little promotion and go, oh, I got a promotion. Good, now I got to keep going. Now I can go further. Take time to bake your own cake, put your candles on it, and blow them out yourself. Do that. And we get mad when we see other women do that, like, oh, she thinks so good of herself. She's so conceited. She thinks she's cute. She is cute. And so are you. There's nothing wrong with taking that time to give yourself a little gold star. Gold star for me. What's your name, ma'am? Gold star for sharing. Go ahead. I actually, in my gratitude journal, I got a little pack of gold stars. Like the ones, I'm old enough, they used to give gold stars in school. Who's old enough to remember that? Remember that? You couldn't wait to get the gold star. It was a tin foil sticky star. But you were like, yes, Mrs. Barrington gave me a star. Give yourself a gold star. You did something right today. Pay attention to what you did right. Be triumphant. And what this is all about, you guys, is this is about self-love. Spending a day here today is about self-love. It's taking the time, because this is Friday. Y'all work, don't you? Don't you do something? You took time off to pour into yourself. What did you tell your bosses to get off today? Wouldn't it be funny if you came here today and then your boss is at table 17, like, whoa, you took off today, did you, Brittany? Self-love is about treating yourself with the same care, tolerance, generosity, compassion, and respect that you would a best friend. Don't you treat your best friends well? Aren't you honest with them? Don't you tell them the truth? Don't you give them love? Don't you give them encouragement? Why aren't we doing that with ourselves? Why aren't we pouring into ourselves today the way we are on a regular basis? We need nourishment. And listen, I'm not going to even lie to you. I don't have any kids. I don't have any pets. I have very low responsibility. You or all of my children. No. I go and I talk to kids, but those are my kids. I'm going to have a Girl Scout troop one day. It's the same as having a baby. Come on. No, maybe not. But I'm still a busy woman. We're all busy. We're so busy pouring into others. Today is about pouring into yourself. Doing things like this always is about pouring into yourself. Get your rest, like Deepak said. Eat well, like Dr. Eunice said. All this resonated with me today. It's like, if I'm really loving myself, I'm loving myself by putting down a couple of the French fries. I may want one or two, but a stalk of broccoli is so much better. And I know they're so simple, but right? It's crunchy. I can't put anything over on San Diego. What I want to share with all of you is I have a gratitude journal, and I'm saying to you that if you want one for yourself or you want a gift, get it. A friend who wasn't able to come today. Maybe there's a friend who wasn't able to get off work. I share in here my journey, and I give you space to create your own. I really want you to take this journey of gratitude and really believing that you are your own gift, and then finding what those gifts are. And it is magical. I'm telling you now, I would not be standing here today if I didn't go, I don't care if I get to share my gifts on a TV show. I'm going to go and talk to the people. 2 years later that I started this, I would not be on stage talking with, following Deepak Chopra, who is the king of what all this is. It works. It works. My table is off in the corner. Come and meet me and say hello. And I take pictures and give love. And I always make you take the pictures from way up high so you look like a supermodel. And I want everyone to know, I want to reclaim this word diva. You know, the word diva has a bad connotation, that she's difficult and I have to have my water room temperature, which by the way I do. There's nothing wrong with knowing what you want. And every woman in here, and some of the fellas too, I see you, sir. Let's give some love to the testosterone in the room, by the way. Testosterone there. We feel you. You're brave. You're brave, and the fellas know where to be. This is the room to be in. With all this lusciousness, all these divas. So turn to your neighbor and say, you are a diva. Let me tell you what diva means. You are delicious. You are inspirational. You are vivacious. And you are amazing. I feel you, I'm a diva too, Purple Sister. That's my sister right there. Thank you all so much for letting me come and play with you. I'll meet you outside. I had a blast. Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you, Miss Tamika Ray. Thank you. Thank you all.